Hello everyone, Ben Williams here from Hunter Proof Podcast, Whitetail Properties, and I'm out here doing a little post timber harvest exploration, I guess you call it. This is the first day that me and Dad went out and we actually drove around and looked at the timber harvest we had done on the property. Pretty good with what we've seen so far with it, so we're happy, but I wanted to get off the side-by-side and Dad's back getting some lunch, but I wanted to look at this spot. This is one of my spots that I'm bound and determined I'm going to kill a good buck here in the next couple years. And with this timber harvest, it just makes this spot so much better. So what we actually have here is a nice little bottom that funnels the wind down through it really well. We have a really good in and out access to this spot for hunting it with a south wind, southwest wind, anything like that works. And what we do have through here is a lot of midday cruise deer that go across the road and back and forth. And when we did this timber harvest, strategically worked with the logger. Go back here so you can see it a little better. So we obviously got big deer trail parallels through here and this little bench, and the cut down, there's like 4 cross trails that come down through here, and they go right across between this little spruce that's in the bottom and these couple ash trees. This big one here I'm going to take out. Couldn't get the machine across, wasn't worth this time, so I'll come in here and I'll drop that across. It wants to lean right there to the south anyway. We'll take that down. But we got a couple big deer trails through here, and what we're going to do, come back through here. We're going to cut these. Once they start coming out, the buds start coming out on these honeysuckle, we'll come in here and cut them once they push buds. Hopefully knock them back, definitely for this year. And what we have is 2 big crossings right through here. You can see one goes right here. They got a war right down. The other goes right through there, and that big clump maple on the other side of this beautiful apple tree, which is going to be a nice little shot. Our cross trail comes here. South wind carries right down this bottom back to the access. Walk this deer trail and show you kind of what we're dealing with. See a big crossing right here, big crossing, and it stands tucked in that soft maple. We're going to take this ash down. Got good browse through here, and historically the shot's been in the ditch, and then the other side now has a nice logging road, and the big cut that goes up the hill that they like to use is right through here. There's a little low point in the hill, a little saddle in it, and it's nice and gradual here, versus over here we call this steep pitch. This is one of the steepest parts on the farm, and they'll bed up on that, and that's great because that's all south wind. And what I think a lot of bucks do is they'll crosswind this, going between different sides of the road midday, and then they can cross across the road here very well. But you can see there's a nice saddle through there and right up through there. There's 2 skid roads that now kind of wrap up around, but south wind is blowing actually perfect right now with south wind with this warm up. I'm in that clump maple. Take this ash down. That should drop pretty easy into that hole. We'll cut the log so the trail's still open, and probably ball this up a little bit. Keep this close one, so we got about a 25-yard shot. Nice angle through there for if they come across the road the other way too. But I love this spot, and I've been saying for years I'm gonna kill a good deer in here. I've had a couple opportunities at some younger deer in this spot, but I think it's just a matter of time before I hit the right day with the right buck with the right 1-year rule, and we're in business. But you can't even see that stand. It's tucked right in right there. I'm on the back sprig of that, so you got a lot of good front cover in that tree, and that's what I like doing. Tuck into these clumps, tuck into these trees that don't look pretty. I don't want to be in that big straight one in the middle of the woods wrecking timber value. I'm in a soft maple, little to no timber value on that tree. And we also got the parallel trails that come through here, and then just balled up a lot of stuff here behind the stand now. So I come down this little ditch bed and right up in the tree. So I don't put any ground scent down. I walk right through the water to the tree. Same thing, the parallel trail comes through here and goes down through here. So I open up my shooting lane here, but I'm right there, right between those 2 big sprigs, and that goes up. So we got to cut down these couple cross trails behind the tree, break them down, cover them up. But Man, I love this spot. I just absolutely love it. So like I said, just got to come in here a little 15-20 minutes with the chainsaw, clean that up once we get some bud out on the honeysuckle. And then like I said, you can see they don't do a ton through here, but like this cross trail's got to go. These couple cross trails here got to go. But I got plenty of stuff down through here that I can drop to booger this up. But I slip right down this ditch bed, walk right down this ditch bed, and go right into the bottom of the tree. And that saddle goes right up through there, cuts up over the hill. You see the new skid road and everything. Just absolutely beautiful. He opened up a couple of the apple trees right there by the stand. Just awesome. This ugly elm is actually probably what's gonna drop into this hole here and ball this up. I got this elm here too. A couple old apple trees I can sacrifice, ball this up, and just not let them cross here behind me anymore. And this is just going to be a much better spot going forward. We did some timbering up there on the side hill. A couple ash, a couple maple came out, a couple hickory, and just making this spot better. But I'm super excited for this spot. This is where I've had a couple good bucks in the past. I found actually St. Patrick's sheds in here post deer season down in this little bottom. There's a bunch of dogwood in here. It's actually where I found his sheds laying side by side, match set. So they use this. They use it as a throwaway going between both sides of the road. So awesome. We still got a bunch of snow here. We still got, you know, a foot in some of the drift spots, maybe a little more, but we're still working with a fair amount of snowpack, as you can see. So I'm not really looking for sheds or anything right now. I'm just looking and doing some game planning now that the snowpack's dropped down a little bit where I can get through here. So I'm gonna back trail this, make some mental notes on what we got to do to clean this up, make this spot even more bulletproof. And then, because what we have further down, I'll just give the full story. We got the big steep pitch, and that actually leads into an old beaver pond. So that pushes them this way. Balled it up with more of the tops from a couple of the ash we took down in the bottom. Balled that up, pushed them even closer this way, so those trails will now be gone, and we'll be again forcing them down here more. So we're taking this whole multitude of movements going east to west here, and we're taking out, playing road construction like I talk about, to manipulate the deer to where we want them to be by this stand. And that's the key with it, is the strategy and forethought with it and why it works. We're building around a stand location that we have. We're building around travel that's already here, and we're just manipulating that to make it beneficial to us and less beneficial to the deer, for a deer we want to take when the time and opportunity presents itself. So but I love it, and it's pretty good. If you got a nice south wind here in the morning into midday, you get in here late, that's okay, because it's right off the main access. I don't know if we'll talk about this in the habitat day coming up this year, but yeah, like I said, all I'm doing is I'm looking for any cross traffic, and there's not any cross traffic here yet. It's all lateral traffic. There should be a cross trail right up here though, where the fiber optic goes through. That should be right about here. And I want to ball this up so they don't come behind me. It's easy for them to go behind me. But south, southeast, southwest, the stand all works through here. And actually this is balling up quite a bit more. That fiber crossing's right in here, which is actually kind of balled up. I balled it up a couple years ago, so they're not using it as much as they used to. That used to be the main highway coming across through here. Big C, main laneways right there. So I jump down the ditch, walk down the ditch. But this is the old crossing right here. I found sheds here in the past when this was the major crossing, but it's just kind of grown in now. This is deep too here. This is the spot where I kind of jump up on the sides. I'm not going to walk across it today. But that's it, guys. This is all kind of excavated out by the beavers and stuff. Probably 15 years ago. Kind of flooded this bottom out. Killed a few trees, and but made this a heck of a spot down in here for regrowth and regen. So that's it, guys. Wanted to highlight a spot down here, kind of give you a real world walking around example. Hope you guys found this beneficial and kind of maybe paint a picture to a spot that might be overlooked. Again, it's right off the main access, you know, not far at all. Some of these easy in, easy out spots are, I find, the most overlooked stuff on client pieces or potential pieces that people are buying. Is some of these spots that are just really close to where you access, where you park, are sometimes your best spots. And a lot of guys are walking right past them to get way too deep into a property. Where this one, we can use the benefit of easy access and good sound hunting strategy. Just make it a little better. And that's what the name of the game is. Make it better for you and harder for them. So I'll show you what it looks like. So I drop down in this ditch bed, and that maple's right there about 100 yards or so in. You can see it right in there. That's my clump maple. And we'll see. I'm hoping to kill a good one out of there in the next couple years. And keep this spot in the back of your mind, because eventually I'll be putting up a video here killing a nice deer. So, and a lot of guys also, this is where the skid road came out. A lot of guys will say that this is where I'd walk in, but I want to be down in that bottom, not putting ground scent here. And there's actually a little opening up here by the stand. I guess we'll walk up to it, kind of show you the full thing. But you can see, took a few timber trees and that crossing. Working on it. But this is what this bottom does. It just funnels like a tunnel down through here with a south wind. And blows it right out into lawn space back here. And these bucks come across, especially mid-rut. You think you want to get between bedding, and what I'm doing is I'm getting between big beddings on both sides of the road. This comes off of anything south of here, which is a lot of bedding blocks on ours and the neighbors. But this is one of the crossings. We got a brook gum up. See a little low spot through here, but we did the uphill work already. Blocking, dropping. Like I said, we wanted to block and drop behind the stand, and then just once we get down in here, this is where the saddles come up through. Oop, sorry. Saddles come up right there behind me. They go across the road right through there. So this is absolutely dynamite. I might, now that this is opened up, yeah, right here. It's a skid road we opened up. It goes right in through there. There's that spruce I was referencing. So we'll have crossings right through here. We're gonna kill this close crossing that goes right under the stand. And then keep this gummed up like I told Trevor to do. Block this up. We blocked up a little bit there, and then put a big ball of stuff down there. You can see I might even try to put a little food plot down in here, just a little throw and grow. We'll see how it goes. Spray it off by hand or something, because it's too rough to get in here with the machine. But this is where I want to kill them. It's coming across right here is where the crossing's going to be, and then right through here. I don't want them to really go under that spruce. That's a little bit too far. But you can see the stands right there, tucked in nice. So, and then the travel goes right up through here, right through here, and that's where they cut across this piece of the property. So, like I said, I wanted to ball this up because a big trail used to come right through here and underneath this spruce, which was okay. It was like 32 yards. And then over here, where we took down the big ash tree, It was next to the spruce. I had them gum that up, and I'll probably lay a few more things in that, and then might even be able to string a snow fence across that so they don't jump it. So I want to make that spot the easiest, quickest spot for them to get across, because this actually puts them too far away from me. So I would have rather that pile of shit been put there, this pile right there. But there's the beaver pond. This is all steep slide hill. So again, using the terrain, you can see it's more gradual here. They go up right there. That's what I want. I want them to think they're getting away with something. This is all good bedding up in here. There's a couple little shelves in there that they bed on. Big doe family group, 2 of them. One on kind of either side of the power line. And just a lot of stuff in here that I can use for filler. We got a couple apple trees that we were able to kind of release out. We'll do a little work to them and just make this spot work. I love it. This is what we do. Might not look the prettiest, might not be the most sexy thing hunting over a food plot, but that's what we got. So all right guys, I got a business call coming in, so I will catch you all next time here in the field. Take care.